MVP Landscaping was really Javier's brainchild initially.
Started in 2019. The idea with landscaping is to hire young people in our community and give them a job, an opportunity to come and learn the basic skills and the basics of a job, right? What it takes to have discipline, be on time to go to work, how do you work as a team, all of those basics. That's the purpose and the intention of MVP Landscaping.
He wanted to pull together a business that would help not just beautify our community and really strengthen kind of the mission and goals of Bridge of Grace, but also to have this strong mentoring component where we could provide some of our youth with jobs, but also really help to equip them with the soft skills that they would need to transition into other employment opportunities.
So when we decided to start a business, I don't know how to start a business. I went to school to study theology, and so, but I was very passionate about this, and I know that this was a need. So we try to go find people who know how to start a business, right? We try to go and find people who have the capacity, have the ability to be able to tell us and give us feedback if this is a good idea in the first place.
Javier and I would meet with Aaron and Janelle Lane, who were at the time at the Parkview community development entity that they pulled together.
It started with a phone call from Javier, who was a good friend of ours. He and Reña came to us with an idea, adding an addition to Bridge of Grace, which was MVP Landscaping. So that's where the process began, is we just started to capture all that they had from a vision standpoint and put it on paper.
So we met with them, I want to say almost bi-weekly, with a new section of that business plan. So I was the main writer of the business plan in-house, and then Aaron and Janelle helped to provide advice and guidance and structure to that process. So we were the ones who really developed that plan together, along with some great helpers and folks from the ISBDC, some great legal assistants, from Trench Trot, from Paragon Landscaping. Was also really great when it came down to really helping us vet and review and get our budgeting and billing systems in place. So it took a whole village of us.
I met Reña Bradley from an introduction by John Gerst, and John of course had worked with us. He knew about our heart for the inner city, and so he connected us to Reña because of her desire to do something like that. We met with Reña and talked about their aspirations and shared as much as we could about landscaping and how to run a landscape business and just the power of the landscape business in that kind of setting.
We then now needed the capital, right? We needed some funding to be able to, as a startup, to be able to buy some equipment, to be able to have money to be able to pay someone a salary. So as a non-for-profit, we went and tried to find grants and opportunities to be able to apply. And we knocked on 2 doors, and they actually gave us a grant. I think it was like $45,000. That's how we started. And then this other person from Parkview that I went and talked to in the first place also donated a truck. Now that we have some funding to be able to start, we needed to find the right talent.
Who are the right people to sit in these roles, to be placed in these roles and to sit in these seats to help move MVP Landscaping from this thing to an actual company or an addition to Bridge of Grace. And for me, I'm big on indigenous leadership, which means I want leaders that come from within the community to be a part of these things. I don't want to bring in individuals from outside of the community. I want to provide opportunities for people who have lived and breathed Southeast Fort Wayne, who come from Southeast Fort Wayne, who may still live in Southeast Fort Wayne.
So we did a soft launch of MVP Landscaping with 2 guys.
We needed to hire the right people to be able to run the business. Well, the same. Went back to people, talked to them, told them what I needed. And again, Aaron Lane told us that he knew someone. His name was Gentel. And Gentel was a person that used to work for a landscaping business and now was working for a factory. Gentel came to be the first foreman for the landscaping business, and now he's actually the manager, the general manager for MVP Landscaping.
We were up to something like 16 or so employees during the summer months, so every winter we downsized just a little bit to our core team of leaders, and then every summer we scale up hire teens and youth from the community to get out to work and to really be those liaisons within the community within greater Fort Wayne.
And MVP is doing so great now, right? And the idea, the goal is to be able to be a profitable company. That's not the main purpose, but it's the purpose that youth and young adults can find purpose and can find, just a good future here in this place.
I heard someone say before that like God's love language is obedience, and I think that MVP landscaping is just a picture of Javier's obedience and Reña's obedience to kind of walk out on this maybe uncommon or quirky idea, but God was whispering, right? And so leaning in when God whispers and just to see God honor that and multiply it, that faith of a mustard seed, this little small thing that then becomes something massive that impacts communities. Right? So now it's not just, oh, this is helpful for the families in our neighborhood. This becomes helpful for, the community outside of our neighborhood. And then it starts to spread throughout the city. Now there are people on different sides of town that are benefiting from this, and the amount of opportunity that it creates for people who maybe would never have an opportunity to be trained in this trade, but more so even mentored relationally outside of just training and work experience. Like, this is now transformational. And so I think it's important to see this as just a testament to what God will do and how he will bless those small things and multiply them.